Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 1795, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. In Norse mythology, what is the hall where warriors slain in battle are received? Valhalla. Which nautical-themed Rod Stewart song reached #1 on the UK singles chart in 1975? Sailing. What city served as the first capital of the Soviet Union? Moscow. More than 40% of women in the United States were once members of which organization? Girl Scouts. Which country was the first to grant women the right to vote in 1893? New Zealand. Which fictional murderer made his first appearance in the 1840s work the string of pearls? Sweeney Todd. Which U.S. First Lady was rumored during the American Civil War to have acted as a Confederate spy? Mary Todd Lincoln. What term describes the product of an object's mass and its velocity? Momentum. What is the collective noun used for a group of ducks on the water? Paddling. Which U.S. state has the bluebonnet as its state flower? Texas. What notable thing do Sir Isaac Newton, Kenny Everett, and Annie Lennox all have in common? They were all born on Christmas Day. What middle name did Ronald Reagan have that he shared with another U.S. president? Wilson. What was Mahatma Gandhi's profession before he became a leader in India's independence movement? Lawyer. What do you call a word that has the opposite meaning of another word? Antonym. Which film director did Madonna marry in Scotland in 2000? Guy Ritchie. Which pinball machine was the first to feature flippers? Humpty Dumpty. Which mystery writer created the detective Tommy Beresford? Agatha Christie. Who served as the first Prime Minister of Israel? David Ben-Gurion. Which literary character famously rode a horse named Rocinante? Don Quixote. Which iconic musician sang the line, "We know Major Tom's a junkie," in the song Ashes to Ashes? David Bowie. Which actress played Samantha Stevens on the TV show Bewitched? Elizabeth Montgomery. Which British musical duo is made up of Tracy Thorn and Ben Watt? Everything But the Girl. Which Moroccan seaport's name means White House in Spanish? Casablanca. In geometry, what curve is defined by all points for which the sum of the distances to two fixed points, the foci, is constant? Ellipse. Which French impressionist, first name Claude, painted the famous Water Lilies series? Claude Monet. What vegetable forms a round, compact head made of layered green or purple leaves? Cabbage. What is the square root of the sum of 55, 65, and 24? 12. In the A Nightmare on Elm Street films, who played the villain Freddy Krueger? Robert Englund. On a horse, where is the pastern located? The pastern is the section between the hoof and the fetlock joint, the area just above the hoof. What animal does the adjective leporine refer to? Rabbits. The Big Dipper is a prominent asterism in which constellation? Ursa Major. Sir Ernest Swinton, a British colonel, is credited with inventing which military weapon? The tank. In Star Trek The Next Generation, who commanded the starship USS Enterprise C? Captain Rachel Garrett. What is the term for the fear of novelty? Neophobia, also called canolophobia. Which item is famously associated with Winston Churchill's public image? A cigar. Which mineral is an essential component of bones and teeth? Calcium. Which soft drink was famously marketed as the Young Cola? 7-Up. In which country is the city of Tobruk located? Libya. Which scandal led President Richard Nixon to resign? The Watergate scandal. In pottery, what is liquid clay called? Slip. Which 1980s TV series followed the lives of students at a New York City performing arts high school? Fame. What extremely rare blood type, sometimes called golden blood, lacks all Rh antigens? Rh null. Which city is home to the newspaper known as the Plain Dealer? Cleveland. Which symbol featuring 5 interlocking rings was introduced at the 1920 Olympic Games in Antwerp? The Olympic rings. Which celebrity appeared on the cover of the first issue of TV Guide, dated April 3, 1953? Desi Arnaz. Which early 19th century German brothers became famous for collecting and publishing fairy tales? Answer: the Brothers Grimm, Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm. Which language is also known as Tal? Afrikaans. Which British monarch reportedly used cannabis to ease menstrual cramps? Queen Victoria. Which animal has the highest blood pressure? Giraffe. According to Billboard, what was the top Hot 100 single of the 1960s? Hey Jude by the Beatles. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.